Welcome, and thank you for being on today's webinar. My name is Keith Hensley, coming to you from Grand Rapids, Michigan. This webinar is going to be on configuring Matrix. There's lots of ways inside of Matrix you can configure things to make it easy to find things and faster to do things, and that's what I want to do today. So along the way, feel free to type in any questions that you have for me, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. And this is being recorded, so I can email this out to everyone later that registered for this webinar. And feel free to share it also with anyone that you think might want to watch this here. So, well, let's get started. I'm going to close this down here, and I'm going to jump right into Matrix. So what you should be seeing now is my Williamsburg multiple listing service, the Matrix system. Hopefully you're familiar with Matrix by now. One of the things I definitely want to cover is, well, first on the home page, don't know if you know this, but you can move these little widgets around, put them in different locations. You can even close some up here. Okay, you can even hit the X and get rid of them. Now, when you get rid of them, when you hit the X and get rid of them, don't worry, they're not gone for good. They're just dropped down into this other little category called additional. See the additional part here? So when you pull things out, you can just pull them right back out like this and pop them back out. So you didn't really lose anything. It's just kind of closing them up. And then you can close them up like that too. So that way, like this one here, I don't know if you have one called a debugger here. That's more for programmers and stuff. I don't really need access to it either. So I like to close that one down. Maybe even like contact requests or recent contacts. Kind of like to close some of those down there. If you never used this ePropertyWatch program, it's a really nice feature, really nice option. And what the ePropertyWatch, this is just a little sales pitch here for it because I don't want to go in and show it to you. But what the ePropertyWatch does, it'll watch a property for you or your client. So probably the best example, the best use of using the ePropertyWatch is when you sell a property, sell someone a house, okay? And once they bought a house, you probably don't stay in touch with them anymore because you helped them, they found a house and things like that. But since they bought a house, they might want to keep tabs on it. They might want to watch their property as the value in the neighborhood changes over the coming months and years. So by going into this ePropertyWatch, you can sign up and you can add your client with their new address, and it'll set them up like on the monthly or bi-monthly email program to where once a month or every other month you set that time period. They will get an email from you with information about their property, the market value of it, and things like that. So probably what I would do if you've never seen or used ePropertyWatch before is go in and add yourself and add your own property to it, and then set it up to email you, periodically, so you can see what the emails look like. And then from there, you might want to go in and start adding your clients in there, especially the ones you just sold properties to. That way, it's like a little drip campaign. You can keep your name in front of them from for months to come in the future there. So that's what that one is. Okay, but today's webinar is on configuring Matrix, customizing Matrix to make it work the way you like it to do. Okay. So one of the first things I like to get you started on is under search. Every time you go into a residential search, a full search here, you'll notice that you have active status picked, nothing else. Well, what you can do, you can even configure this. Is that okay? Is that all you want to show on your residential full search, is just active status? Is that the starting point? Do you search for condos and fee simple ownership type, or do you typically just search for fee simple and not condos? So what you could do, and then another question is, do you typically do you not care about what type of house you search for? Or now for me, for example, for me, I usually would search for a detached property. That's usually the people I work with are wanting a detached property and not a condo. They want a fee simple ownership type and active listing. So what I like to do is every time I go into search residential full, I like active to be picked, I like fee simple to be picked, and I like detached to be picked. I might even want to have coming soon picked, that's up to you though, okay? Because something coming soon is I could get it to where that way I know it's going to be coming on the market, so I can kind of get a sneak peek at it. So that's up to you if you like it or not. I'm going to take it out for now. And you notice down here I had 529 matches, and when I picked it, I got 3 more properties there. So it's up to you. So let's just pretend for now I like that. I like those 2 statuses. I like that ownership type, and I like that type of property there. I could even go as far as this. Let's say every time I do a search, I'm always searching James City County. Okay, so if I don't change or fix anything, what happens every time I go to search residential, I have to come in, I have to pick that, I have to pick that, I have to pick that, and I have to pick that. Well, it just took me, several seconds there. Well, if I put all those in there that I like, and then I come right here to this little wheel, it's a little, I call it your best friend, a little setting wheel, cog wheel. If you click on that, once you got everything set, and then you click on that, you can click, you can select, you can have, let me move this out of the way a little bit more. In fact, let me do that there. You can have everything that you have currently selected be your starting defaults. So when you click that, I just set my default settings. Now that means that every time I do a search from here on out that's residential full, I have coming soon active already picked, I have fee simple picked, I have detached already picked, and I have James City County already picked. Okay, so that's hopefully you'll see it just speeds it up a little bit faster. Now, if this one time I want to search for condos that are in Williamsburg, and I may not care about that, I can change it. It's just that the next time I come back into the residential full, it just goes right back to my default setting. So that is giving you the power or the control to pick your starting default. Now, what you also have is you actually have a couple residential ones. Now, you don't have this residential full admin. I do. Only a few of us have a full admin here, but you do have a residential full and a residential quick. So once I changed it on the residential full, because we also have a residential quick, you could have a different one here. You could have this one be your coming soon, active, and condo search, and maybe Williamsburg, and have that be your default. So here you actually could have 2 default residential ones since you have a full and a quick. Just remember, I didn't do any changes on multifamily or lots, lands, or rentals or commercials here. I only did it on the 2 residential ones. So now if I know I want condos, I go here in Williamsburg. If I want residential in James City County, I pick the full one. Okay, but I'm just going to reset it back to the basic here. Any questions on that one before I go further? Okay. Kind of going along with that same concept, I want to show you how to create a favorite search. Okay, so a favorite search is a search that you do all the time. It's not necessarily for this client or that client. It could be for any client. It's just something that you do all the time. So for example, if I always go into residential and I'm always doing searches for listings in James City that are detached, I'm just trying to find some, actually, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of James City here. Let's say I do an active search all the time, fee simple detached, but I use a map. I go in, I created a special neighborhood based off of the map. So when I go into the map, what you can do is you can create your own area here. So notice when I came in here, there's 335 listings there, 26 there, 51 there, 1 there, 1 there, 94 there. So as I zoom in a little bit more, you notice I start getting these green pins. They're in my way. Okay, so I'm trying to define a neighborhood, but yet these pins are in my way. So what I want to do here is show you a trick. If I go back to my criteria and I'm looking for MLS number, is there a field called MLS number? Should have one. Maybe I just looked right past it somewhere. If I just search for ML number, I don't see it. Well, that's fine. Watch this. I can do the same thing with zip code. If I throw in a zip code of 0, how many listings have a zip code that's exactly 0? Well, none. There are no listings that have 0 as a zip code. So now when I look at the map, there are no listings here. The reason why I wanted that is now I can see the map without all those pins in my way. So as I zoom in a little bit closer and closer here, I can get to a special neighborhood, okay? Let's just pretend it's the Meadows here, okay? Now, I've never been there, so I'm just kind of winging it as I go. But let's say the Meadows is this entire area here, separated by Route 5 and Route 199 and Ironbound Road. Let's just say that's the Meadows area. Now let's say that's a nice area that people want to live in all the time, or they have asked me that all the time. So what I like to do is I can go up here to a polygon and I can create a shape. Click, 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 click. You see how I'm just tracing it here? I'm clicking every time I want it to stop and to go again. Okay, but the problem is, not the problem, I'm not finished yet. Well, that's the good thing, because watch this. If I didn't finish, I can still pull this out a little bit and kind of customize it here, okay? And let's grab this here. Here we go. Pull that in. Okay. Now, it took me, maybe a minute to draw that shape. But I search listings in the Meadows all the time, and I like this shape because the shape gives me, because I can define it this way. If I was looking at my criteria here, there might not be a subdivision called the Meadows, or the Meadows might be several subdivisions or part of it, or a zip code. There might be, the zip code for the Meadows might be a huge zip code where I don't want the entire zip code. I just want that little area of the Meadows there. So once I did that and I drew my shape, now don't forget, remember I added a zip code 0? I want to make sure I take that back out. I only did that because I didn't want all those pins in my way. Well, now you can say I took it out and I got one match. Well, since I don't know the area, I don't know if they're attached or detached or fee simple or not. So I took those out and I still only got one match there. In fact, I'm going to do a coming soon and see if I get, nope, didn't get any more. And that's fine, okay? So that's the area I like to search for, and I want to create a template. So if anything ever happens in here, or if someone wants to search for listings in here, I've got a map already saved for it. So I can save that map down here, or go to results and hit save, either way. So all I did was draw my shape around my map, and once I've got my map shape, once I got all my criteria set for me, now I just want to save it as a new save search. I don't want to save it as an auto email. Now, if you know the difference, when you hit save, both of these will save the search. This is an inactive search. It's not auto prospecting. It's not going out and digging for new matches every day. This one does. That's the auto email. That's the one that goes out and searches as often as you want it to. And when it finds it, it automatically sends the matches to the new client. Now, can I save this as a new auto email and have the matches come to me for this area? Sure, absolutely. But that's not the purpose of this search here. So this one, I just want to save it as a new saved search, give it a name. I'm going to call it, was it the Meadows? I already forgot. And I like to put in brackets here, map, just so that I know that it's actually a map that I drew on here. Now, is it for a client of mine? No, okay. But I do want to enable this as a favorite search on my home page, and I can only do up to 10 of them. Here's my criteria. So I'm going to save it. Now, if you remember, I didn't add any price range or bedrooms or bathrooms. Okay, all I did was save that that map that I drew. So now, when John and Sally call me up, and John and Sally want to search for houses, and as soon as they say they want to search for listings in the Meadows, I know exactly what they're talking about. I don't have to go to search residential, go to the map and draw the shape. All I have to do is click on the Meadows. And right now, I mean, this is an area that only has one listing, but I can tell them right now, hey, there's one listing in there, and I can tell them about it. Or I can go to criteria and then I can put in their price range. I can put in their bedrooms and bathrooms and stuff like that. So it's just really, really quick access to it. It's right here as a favorite search. Does that make sense? Any questions on that there so far? Okay, it's just a little template, and just remember you're limited to 10, but you know, I think that's a pretty cool. Now I will say some MLSs did increase it to 15 or 20, so maybe your MLS has increased it, but most likely it's 10 to where we're at there. Now there's also another thing. Whenever you let me pull that search back up for the Meadows. Remember when I created this search, I went to the map and I drew that shape and I said you can come down to save. Well, did you notice there's a third option to save things? You can save it as a saved search or as a new auto email, but do you know you can save it as a speed bar shortcut too? Does anyone know what the speed bar shortcut is? Speed bar is right up here. This is your speed bar, okay? So what you can do is once you do your search, draw your map shape, and when you go to save, I'm going to save it as a speed bar shortcut and show you what I could do. When I click on that, when I name my speed bar shortcut, it has to start with that slash there. The reason why that slash is there is because when you search up here, you can search for a lot of things such as cities, counties, or street names. Well, so it has a slash in front of it. That's its unique identifier, letting you know that it's a name that you created, that it's a speed bar shortcut. So I'm going to call this one Meadows. Okay. Here's your criteria. It's just a map that I picked that's residential and active listings. So I've got a new shortcut called Meadows. So instead of me picking this here, let's say I've got all this filled up, all 10 spots filled up, and I cannot save another favorite search here. Well, if I saved it as Meadows in the speed bar shortcut, all I have to do then is come into the speed bar, do the forward leaning slash, and type in Meadows. And then when I hit enter or that button right there, it does exactly the same thing. I don't have to draw my shape again, and my criteria is exactly the way I saved it. So now you've got two choices. Do you put it here called the Meadows and click on it, or do you put it up here in a speed bar shortcut? Okay. Now there's benefits to both. The benefit to it being a favorite search is that now you've got this button down here called Update All. And with it being your special search, it's almost like a hot sheet in a way, or a market watch. It means I can watch this market here or this area, and all I have to do is hit Update All, and it says, since the last time I ran the Meadows, there's nothing new there. So if I wait a week or two and then I hit Update All, it'll show me all the new ones since the last time I ran it. Notice on this one here is the last time I did one, probably a month or so ago, and it's one called My Special Place that I just had fun with. Well, since the last time I ran it, there's 86 new ones there. So what I could do is just click on it and see what those new ones are. And there they are, okay? If I look at the map, you're gonna see what I did. And that was my map, is around Newport News, that whole area down there was where I drew it at, okay? And I think I even had, no, I didn't really have anything else. Okay, no other criteria. So that was what I called my special place, okay? So that's a benefit to having a favorite search, is that you got this Update All button here, which is really cool. So if someone wants to live in the Meadows, I just click on it and they see it there, but I can go back to criteria and put in my price range here, or bedrooms and bathrooms. Well, the speed bar shortcut, first, I already showed you this, that you can do /Meadows and pull it up. Okay, well, that's a neat trick, but watch this. You can also do this. You can also type in You know what I want to do? Let me pull up my special place. I need some MLS numbers in here. Oh wow, you guys got. Oh, that's PID. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking under the PID. I was like, that's some weird MLS numbers. Here's your MLS numbers. Okay, so what you can do in the speed bar shortcut is type in MLS numbers 200, 2234, and boom, there you go. Space 22. Oh, I'm sorry. 200, 1234. Type in as many MLS numbers as you want up here, just separated by a comma. Oh, I guess that's not a good MLS number. I guess that one's not either. Maybe I went too high. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing you can do is enter an address. Now, when I say address, I really mean you can enter a street number, street name. Okay, no more, no less. This number, 131, and name, Hunter. Okay, move this thing out of the way. Now, if it was north or south or northeast, southeast, whatever you have here as a direction, do not, need that U in there. Do not type in the north, south, east, or west, because that's not the street name, that's the street direction. Do not type in drive or lane or avenue or road, because that's not the street name, that's the street type. So only street number, street name. And when you do your search, you find every listing that has that street number, street name. Now, if someone calls you up and they don't know what the street number, street name is, you can just type in a street name. And now there's everything that starts with the word Hunter. Hunter Comb, Hunter Ridge, whatever. So just a real quick search. Now, what else you can do? Now, there's a reason why I'm showing you all this. You can do A space res space $ 200-300 space Newport News. Let me do Williamsburg. I guess we can't do cities in here. Let's see here. Let me go back here. Let me look at your cities. Yeah, New Kent should have worked. New Kent, okay. So if I did A space, you know what, it might be, let me leave this here. A space res dash 200-300 New Kent. I bet it's this. I bet we do ACT. There we go. ACT res $ New Kits. Make sense? Let me just not do. I'm finding no listings at all. Look at that. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now let me do Williamsburg. Status active, county. Yep, that's what I want. There we go. We got 43 matches. Now I can do this. I can do 3 plus space 2 plus. That's for bedrooms and bathrooms. Okay. 3 or more beds, 2 or more baths. Now I'm showing you all this, but watch this. Remember that speed bar shortcut I just did called Meadows? You can say I want Meadows, but you can also go in and say, well, because when I created Meadows, I didn't put a price range or beds and baths. Well, now I can add price range and baths. I can't remember what that one listing was, but there you go. So my speed bar shortcut that I created, but then I can throw in a price, beds and baths and stuff, because without it, it was just the Meadows. You remember, I didn't have a price range or bedrooms and baths. So on the fly, I can add that in the speed bar shortcut there. Okay. Anything else on that? Does that help anyone? Lose anyone? Confuse anyone? So you got speed bar shortcuts and favorite searches. Now, what you can do also is when you do your search and you find your results, I'm just going to make this map a little bigger so I can get some more listings in here. Actually, I'm just going to delete it. Let me show you Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but you can say 2 miles of Walmart. I don't know if you know this, but Walmart, comma, Williamsburg, Virginia. Actually, you guys have 2 of them there. So I want 2 miles of Williamsburg, Virginia. There's 104 listings. So when I go to results, what I want to show you now is you can change this grid. You can move these columns around and put it where you want them at, okay? We give you all these display views here, but you can see that you can create your own ones. I've created 2 of them here, okay? So what you can do is you can put things in the order that you like. In fact, you can get rid of fields. You can click and remove a column. You can put the parcel ID maybe down here a little bit more, or maybe you say, you know what, I don't need to see the parcel ID, so just let me click it and remove it there. Okay. You can you got some more options down here at the far right hand side. So if you like some of these options, all you have to do is just grab them and kind of pull them over here and put them where you like them at. Okay. Do it that way. Okay. You can, if you click on the address, hopefully you know this, that if you click on it, it sorts it alphabetically. If you click it again, it sorts it the opposite way. Most of these columns here, you can sort by the way you want it to. There. Okay, so you can click and remove columns, or you can click and insert a new column. So if you go in here and insert a new column, you can find whatever columns you're missing here. So we got list price and sales price. One I kind of like to always add to this, I like to add the original price. Okay, because I think it's kind of nice to know what it started at. So when I added original price, I put it right next to list price and then sale price. Now these are all active listings, but if they sell, and in fact, let me go back to criteria here. Let me put in sold. And now I can see what it started at, what it changed to, and then what it sold for. So it was 262.5, then it dropped down to 250, but it sold for 230. So you can kind of see a trail here, a little bit of record of what it's done there. Okay. So you got all that stuff there. You can also rename fields. So you can go up here if you think that's kind of long, you can just, rename it to something shorter. Okay, on any of those columns. But the main thing is once you've got it the way you like it, make sure you go to that piece of paper right there and give it a name. I'll just call it single line. And then once you give it your own name, hit save, and you notice not only did it call a single line, it says my single line, so it automatically throws the my in front of it. But just remember, every time you come back and do a search again and go to results, it'll always default to the single line one, not yours. But do you want it to? Wouldn't it be nice if you could have it automatically use yours instead of the one we give you? Well, you can do that too. First thing though, you had to save it. Well, I already did that. I already have my own single line. Once I've got my own, then I use that little wheel and I can set what I currently have display, including the order that it's sorted in, as my starting defaults. Then I just click on it and now that will be my defaults. So now every time I do a search, residential search, go to results, it'll always use my single display, my single line, not the one that was given to me. Does that help there? Okay. And just remember, you can create many different options for your own display line, but we can only show one though. You can only have one at a time. But you can have several of them up there. I just reset it back to the basics there. What else? What else? So you pick your property types. Every time you go to the map, notice what it does. It goes to this map right here where you see Richmond up here, you see Virginia Beach, Norfolk there. You can fix this map. Maybe you want it to be zoomed in a little closer. Maybe you want it Williamsburg a little more prominent there. Okay, so you can get this map zoomed in to the level that you like. Move it over here if you like. Move it to where you like it at. Okay, so once you get it set just the way you like it, here's the wheel again. There's your best friend. Click on it and you can set this map view as your starting default. So every time you go in and do a search and choose the map, it'll be right at that map level that you had, not the one that was way out here. I'm going to reset it back to where it was. See, that's where it was. So you could have it zoomed in on any area that you like there. Okay. You also have this jump to address, and nothing you can really do here, but I don't know if you ever noticed that you can type in an address there, or you can say, take me to Hanover. Takes you right to Hanover. Or you could say, take me to Colonial Heights. Takes you right to Colonial Heights. Take me to Brookberry. Takes you right to Brookberry. Okay. So you cannot fix these or make your own, but they are there for you. And I just wanted, since I was there, I thought I'd just show it to you there. Okay. Okay. Trying to think what else. Any other questions, you guys? It's not really that long of a webinar, but is there anything I'm trying to forget or trying to remember here? Yeah, I know someone just raised your hand. You'll have to type in the question box. Yeah, you'll have to type in your question there for me. You can add, do you guys know you can add more fields down here at the bottom? So if you're looking, trying to do a search and you're like, you know, where's that field? I don't see it anywhere on here. You can add your own fields. And once you go in and add them and you come across something that you like attic, and you hit add and you pull it over. Now attic, and you can move it up, put it in the order that you like it in. Come back. And now you have attic down here. So you can pick your attic fields. Okay. And then you can always go back in. They'll always stay there until you take it out. But then you can go in and take out the fields that you don't use that much. Can you show us again how you added the original price column? Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. Go to results there. Okay. All I did, now pay attention, I'm on the column header. When your cursor's on the name, you get the finger there. The finger just means you can click it and sort it. But if you come off of it, see the 4 arrows? That's when you get the 4 arrows, you can just left click, and then you can either remove that column or add a new column. And you can also go up here and rename it, subdivision, okay? So if I hit new column here, then I can go in and type in price, current price or original price. Well, just pick the one you want. And as soon as I hit apply, it's going to throw it to the right of this column in between subdivision and type. So when I hit that, there it is right there. Okay. Now remember that sorts it. This allows you to either grab it by holding down your left mouse button and dragging it, and then dropping it where you want it to go, or get the 4 arrows and just do a left click and then remove it, insert it, or you can do an auto fit. Let me show you this on some of them here. Oh, you're welcome, Debbie. Good question, thank you. See how wide the space is? If you click on it, you can also do a auto fits, and then you hit apply, and it snaps it really close. So however long your your column is, it'll auto fit it. Same thing with this one here. Auto fit and apply. Okay, and you can do this too. You can click, have everything lined up on the right hand side of the column or centered in the column. Hit apply, and now you can see it's centered. So however you like it displayed, that's up to you. You can do it. Just make sure if you made changes to it, you can't save it to the original system one, but you can come here, save it as a copy, give it your own name up here, save it as a copy. And then once you do that, kind of like what I did up here with my single line, then you can hit that wheel and set it as your default there. Okay, thanks, Debbie. Anything else? I'm trying think of default stuff or configuration. I hope everyone's went to my my information. This is part of the configuration. Hopefully everyone's went to my matrix, my information. Hopefully you've already checked all your information here. Make sure it's correct. And I hope you have a banner set up here. Does everyone have a banner set up? Do you have your own photo on here or not? Now you don't have to, but I think you should at least have some stuff. And I think you should have some information in here too about yourself. So this is what your clients see when you email them listings. So I hope you've done that. And I hope you've set up an email signature too. So see, that's what your email signature looks like when you first come in. If you haven't set that up, every time you email someone, it throws your name at the bottom. Well, that to me doesn't look professional. So I think you should come in here, enter a couple lines down and add like sincerely, your name, your company, maybe your title, maybe your address. I just moved, so I'm just trying to still remember it. Okay. You know, maybe your email address. And here, and just do this here, type in all this stuff here. And then what's nice is you can just highlight this stuff, make it bold, make this bold, make that font size a little different color there, things like that. Okay. And then make sure you save it there. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, any other questions here? But yeah, make sure you do that. Make sure you set that stuff up there. Okay. All right, well, if there's nothing else, I do appreciate your guys' time today. Hope you got some out of this. Hope it was worthwhile. Okay. All right, well, thanks everyone. I hope you guys have a great day and look forward to you on my next webinar. You're welcome, Debbie. Thank you. Appreciate it.